Hey everyone, it's Michael with Happy Plate Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make Cajun sticky chicken. Let's get cooking. If you like this video, please do me a favor and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. We hope you enjoy it. I have 8-9 bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. So we're going to season it. I use Tony's. Okay, so on the back side, I'm going to do a very generous amount of seasoning. Okay, so on the skin side, don't go as heavy on this with the seasoning because when you broil them, it's gonna be too salty. Okay, so those are all ready to go. Okay, so I have this big pot that has kind of been passed down a little bit. You're gonna wanna get a nice big aluminum pot if you have something like this. This is actually Micware. It's out of Mamu, Louisiana, but these pots are great. They're very versatile and they're very durable. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get 2 burners going. I'm gonna make a big batch. So my one in the back is a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna put that there. Not as hot as this one. Okay, I'm just using Crisco, vegetable oil, whatever you want. I like to get a good, nice little layer on the bottom there, and we're gonna let that heat up. Now we're gonna add the chicken thighs to the pot. We're gonna do it skin side down first. Be careful of the splatter. You know, if you're gonna do any type of cooking like this, especially with the Cajun cooking, there's gonna be a lot of spray. I use this guard to help with the cleanup because it's gonna spray all over my counter and all over my stove. So I'm just gonna cover that up and we're gonna wanna let that brown. All right, so it's been about 10-11 minutes. I rotated these around a little bit because I have a bigger burner on the back and a smaller one on the front. So you want it nice and crispy. So now we're gonna flip them. Okay, so it's been about 8-9 minutes. So we're gonna take the lid, some brown, both sides are, put them skin side up. I want them skin side up because if you put them skin side down, the skin is gonna get soggy and I don't want that. Okay, now that those are removed, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna turn these off. Let this pot cool down a little bit before we put in the onions and the bell peppers, okay? All right, so I've let this sit for about 4 minutes with the heat off. Here I have an onion and a third, my bell pepper, we're gonna put that in. Okay, so you can see these pans get so hot, you let them sit for even just 5 minutes and it's still sizzling. I'm gonna go back to a medium heat. This right here is a 15-inch spoon with a flat top to it, okay? That's what we're gonna want for the scraping. That's why these aluminum pots are so good for Cajun cooking because we can scrape. And that's why it's called sticky chicken, because the drippings stick to the pan. You can scrape all those drippings off. So we are gonna let the onions and the bell peppers cook down. Okay, so it's been about 7 minutes. You can see it's starting to brown, so I'm gonna add some water. What we don't want to do is let these vegetables burn. We want them to cook down until they're like super soft and mushy. And that's why instead of doing super low, we keep it on medium. We just add some water every 6 minutes or so and stir. Eventually it will turn into kind of like a paste. In between the stirs of the vegetables, go ahead and chop up. I have about 7-8 cloves of garlic here. Okay, so another 6 minutes have gone by. You're gonna wanna make sure that you stir this every 3 to 4 minutes. Now I will say, I have cooked this down to almost nothing, and I've also cooked it where it's not as soft as this, and I've never had complaints. So for the sake of time, I am going to go on to the next step. All right, I have my 2 bouillon cubes. We're gonna put them in. I'm gonna chop them up so they dissolve a little faster. I'm gonna use Louisiana hot sauce. That's what I prefer. Do some squirts. Whatever your spice preference is, add more, add less, but this is what I use. Next, I'm gonna add some Lee & Perrins Worcestershire sauce. This is my favorite. Look at that. We're gonna mix that all up. I have 36 ounces in this Yeti. I'm gonna put it in there. Do a little stir. Okay, I have my baking dish here. Make sure you spray it for the skin. Okay, now we're gonna take these skins off. I let them sit for a while because if you don't, it burns. We're gonna throw them right on here. You put them skin side down, and this rubbery, still moist part, that's the part we wanna crisp. No seasoning here, guys. We're gonna broil these. Now we're gonna take these chicken thighs and we're gonna put them back in. I put them in thigh side down. Okay, so I have all of them in there now. I'm gonna take the drippings and I'm pouring all of that stuff in there. And I'm gonna put all of my garlic in there now. Stir it around. We're gonna keep this at a medium heat for quite a while. Pro tip, I've used this cutting board for onions, bell peppers, and garlic. I'm not gonna wash this. I'm gonna keep the board as is and I'm gonna use it to cut my tomatoes, and it actually adds some flavor to that. Okay, while your sticky chicken is simmering, we're gonna take 2 cups of rice. All right, I added my water to my rice. There's a big controversy amongst Cajuns whether you rinse the rice or you don't. That's up to you. What I do with my rice though, I add a bunch of salt. I add some extra virgin olive oil so it's not super sticky. Here's another pro tip. Cajuns love vinegar. I will add about a tablespoon of vinegar to my rice. I'm stirring it around. I want to get all the salt, oil, and vinegar evenly distributed. So this rice cooker is the Zozi Rushi rice cooker, 8 quarts, I believe. It's a Japanese rice cooker, but if you're gonna cook Cajun food, get a Japanese rice cooker. It is by far the best rice cooker I've ever had. All right, it's been about 7 minutes. Now listen, I still have it at medium heat. Okay, so I'm gonna stir it around. Make sure that the main meat side is still down. And now I'm gonna put this down to more like of a medium lowish and let it simmer for a while. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. Now I'm gonna flip it over. I want that other side to be cooked evenly as well. Okay, and as you can see, it's starting to thicken. And look, it's starting to come apart as you move it. That's what we want. All right, so it's been about another 10 minutes. So depending on when everyone's ready to eat, you can either let it simmer, add a little bit more water, or turn it off, and it's ready to serve. Okay, we're gonna put the oven to broil. We're gonna put the skins in. Okay, after 2 minutes, this is what it is. And there you have it. Serve it over the rice and a side of sliced cucumbers and fresh tomatoes seasoned with salt and pepper.